Hello again, everyone. It's Andy here looking at the markets, and I'm currently looking at the dollar index futures, as you can see here on the left on a 4-hour chart, followed by the major currencies that we take a look at on the weekly basis. You can see here the dollar index on a 4-hour chart, and the same thing with the yen, the Swiss franc, and the Canadian, and then the euro, pound, and Australian dollar down here on the bottom. And again, looking at 4-hour charts here, the idea is to look at last week's trading activity and compare it to this week's trading activity. And I take a look at the dollar index. You can see here that early on in the week we were still trading inside of last week's trading range, and then finally we were able to pop above last week's high here, creating a little bit of a upward bias or upward momentum here in the dollar index futures. Not really a lot of fall through. You can see that it initially fell back and then finally broke out again and then fell back again. So again, interesting thing here is that the dollar index basically traded up near last week's trading range high. So as you can see here, about the upper trading range of last week, the dollar index futures predominantly trading in this range here, and then ultimately breaking out to the upside. So a little bit of short covering here in the dollar, or at least a little bit more buying, as you can see. And then in comparison, a little bit of a holiday active trading session here in the euro. You can see not able to break outside of last week's trading range. You have last week's high and low here, and the euro basically trading flat sideways over the course of this week in between this trading range, signifying that there really was not a lot of institutional trading here in the euro dollar. And to further that along, you can see here that the pound, on the other hand, did try to take out last week's low, not able to really clear it as strongly as, per se, the Japanese yen up there, which we'll talk about in a minute. But you can see here, breaking down below last week's low is the pound numerous times here this week. Let's say 4 times, coming back up and test these levels. But overall, again, trading near the the lower half of the previous week's trading range, signifying a little bit of weakness here in the pound over the course of this week. The question is whether or not this market is going to be able to cruise lower, if you will, pushing back below the 160 even level. That's what I'll be watching. And taking a look here at the Australian dollar, you can see that a little bit of time inside of last week's trading range early on this week, and then finally breaking down below last week's trading range here, and not really even able to retrace any of this move until this Friday here. You can see here that not able to get back up there to retest the selling. But overall, you can see trading below last week's trading range. Ultimately, it looks like these markets had been a little flat, not really able to move convincingly in one direction or another. Japanese yen, however, broke above last week's high. You can see here just continue trading, pushing as high as 86.62 and resting here at 85.94 as the week comes to the close. Now the question next week is whether or not we're going to be able to continue to rally here. And the Japanese yen has had a very strong move over the past couple of weeks, so you'd imagine that at some point it's going to come to a little bit of a halt. Canadian dollar here, or sorry, Swiss franc, not able to move outside of last week's trading range, similar to the euro. You see last week's low, last week's high, and this week's high and low are basically inside of last week's trading range. Again, this tells you that basically the institutions were not willing to take the market outside of these trading range. So essentially, this is one of those type of scenarios where you have to be careful. You want to be willing to scalp the market and take little trades, minor losses and minor profits. But overall, again, this is a sideways choppy market, which is probably part of the reason why the dollar index was not able to move very strongly to the upside. It's the same reason that the euro and the Swiss franc were not able to push beyond their trading ranges. However, the Canadian dollar did finally break out of last week's trading range toward the end of the week here, finally pushing above 99.52 and finishing off right around 99.67. But it did take the whole entire week to do this. So as you can see, holiday trading did have an impact on the market in terms of the volatility, the liquidity, etc., and therefore the markets really just did not get that much going this week. So now to be questioned as to whether or not the market is going to give you a little bit of activity going into the new year. So I hope that helps, and I hope that you guys are enjoying your holidays. And with that in mind, this is Andy signing off. Hope this holiday has treated you well. This is Andy signing off, and we'll see you at the next market wrap. While I got you here, I wanted to take a quick moment to say that if you really liked what you're looking at here in the free Forex market wrap video, I wanted to give you the opportunity to come take a look at the premium weekly Forex market wrap video that I do every week. And basically it's a little bit more in depth, or should I say a lot more in depth information about the markets that I cover. And you can see here that in this short video I go over the basics about what I've been looking at on the major currencies. In the more in-depth market wrap video, I take a look at a in-depth analysis on the 6 major currency pairs. You also get actionable trading scenarios. The important thing here is that we're offering a 3-day risk-free trial, so you don't have to pay a cent. It's about a 30 to 45 minute video that'll go through all the major currency pairs that I look at, and it shows you a lot more in-depth analysis and forecast, looking at the longer term picture and the big major trends that are affecting what you're looking at on the lower time frames that you're looking at on a day-to-day basis. So take a moment to go take a look at the premium market wrap video. You can see the link here provided, www.traderstouch.com/3day, and it also includes a free membership to the Traders Learning Network, where you can meet other traders that are like-minded individuals, and they're basically there to help everybody looking at the same markets as you. So good luck, hope it helps, and look forward to seeing you on the inside.